This little thing right here has been so kind to me. Yep, made a little bit of money off of it and discovered some new things on it. But let's get down to the truth about mobile production.
Bolo!
What's good, you guys? It's your boy Bolo, back at it once again. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. Please comment. Please hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. And please turn on those post notifications so you'll know the next time I have another video available. And make sure you guys go ahead and get my drum kit. The link is in the video description below. Make sure you go get that. You will not be disappointed. So a lot of you guys know I am an advocate for mobile production. I do about 50% of my production on the iPad. The other 50% is spread across all of my other various programs and gear that I have. The iPad has been a game changer for me. It's been one of the best tools that I've used in a long time because it is super portable and you can get ideas done super fast in it, and a lot of the products are very cheap compared to what you have to spend on the laptop or even some of the stuff I have to get to go along with my MPC. However, let's be real about it. There is a few drawbacks to using the iPad, and I want to discuss that today along with some of the great things about making beats on the iPad as well. Let's go ahead and talk about it, and let's be blunt about it. Okay, so what's so special about being a mobile producer? What is the big thing about it? It's kind of like a new fad, really, even though it's been out for a pretty long time. I think the first time I seen somebody actually making a beat on the iPad had to be 2013, and one of my favorite producers of all times, Manny Fresh, made a beat for the late great Doe B in the studio on Beatmaker 2, I think it was. And it completely blew my mind. I never seen anything like that, and from that moment I was completely hooked. I didn't even have an iPad at the time. My wife did, and I went ahead and downloaded that program as soon as I got home the next morning. But now it seems like a lot of people are starting to jump on board with it, and it's still in its very infant days right now because there's still a lot of kinks that still need to be worked out with mobile production. A lot of the programs have gotten better, but there's a lot of issues with it. Number one, stability. That's one of the biggest things that I'm running into with dealing with some of these developers is they're making great products and their products sound good, but their products are not stable in a lot of these programs. I don't know if it's something with the coding or something with the language or whatever. A lot of these programs are starting to kind of fall off, or they're starting to do weird things. Now, I don't know if it's the actual iPad DAW, or I don't know if it's the iPad VST. I don't know what's going on with it, but the last thing I need is for me to be making a beat and the beat comes out dope, and then I go to pick another VST and then the whole thing just crashes. That right there would drive a grown man insane. And it's happened to me plenty of times. I just have never addressed it because, of course, we always try to make everything look great. Yeah, but that's actually a pretty big issue. You can't really produce like that. That's why a lot of times lately I've been producing on, because I don't have those problems on that. Because the MPC has been around for so long and they kind of worked out a few of the kinks, even though their software is a little. But so far as the hardware side, I'm pretty good. All I have to do is turn the stuff on, turn on my keyboard, and go to work. And I don't really have to worry about anything unless the power goes out, but I actually have a reserve battery for that. Being an iPad producer, I want to be able to have the confidence to make a beat and to know that, okay, I don't have to go ahead and bounce out all my stems right now because I don't know if I open this program back up, will it crash? Which brings me to number 2. When I've opened up Beatmaker 3 or even Cubase's or even Nano Studio, which I kind of mess with a little bit now, I'll go open up a session and then the sounds are not even the right sounds. It might go back to the default sounds for some reason. And I'm like, now I gotta go hunt for the sound that I use before I saved it. I think a lot of these developers really need to go in here and really kind of fine tune this thing because it's been around for a few years now, and I know it's still very, very, very young. I think that some things do need to be addressed to kind of help out us mobile musicians. Now, I know there's a lot of other problems in the big scheme of things, but I think that the problems that I listed before are something that should have been addressed very early, which should be stability stuff. Now, we all know that making beats on the iPad is great because we can just take it, we can travel with it, we can just throw it in a bag, and we don't really have to take a lot. A lot of times when I'm even making beats, I just take my headphones with me and just plug them in, turn on the iPad, and just go to work like that. It's perfect. Like, I don't have to bring a whole big laptop or nothing like that. All I have to do is just bring the power cord and some headphones, and I can just go to work. That is extremely great for me because I'm always on the run, and if I have a quick idea, I can just pick this up and go to work with it. But this brings me to another issue, which is number 3. The amount of stuff you have to get for it. Even though I a lot of times are using maybe some loops or some samples, and I have my drum samples, and I can just, you know, use the pads or whatever to drop the drums and stuff in. If I'm really trying to go in, like say for instance with a session, there's a lot of different accessories that I have to use because you just have to use a lot of accessories. And the one thing that I'm kind of on the fence with, because I know it's nothing that I can really fix right now, I hope in the future they can try to find some innovative ways. Right now we have Bluetooth keyboards, we have regular keyboards, and then if we have to use these keyboards, we have to use special dongles. And then we have to make sure those special dongles are powered. And then we have to make sure that we have a power source to power those special dongles to hook up everything that we have. But we're supposed to be mobile producers that just whip the thing out and just make a beat with. I don't think that's what this was intended for. I think this was something that was intended for us to just go ahead and make beats on without having to have so many accessories. And that brings me to number 4. I think that being an iPad producer with everything that's out there, and especially when you can buy everything on Amazon for dirt cheap, I think we kind of get consumed on buying so much stuff that we end up with a book bag full of stuff we really don't need. Everything dealing with the iPad is pretty much cheap, and I think it's diminishing the value of what this is intended for. Now, there's a lot of great things, like I just got this new stand. Yeah, let me show you the stand. This is actually pretty dope. All right, yeah. It's kind of in the middle, ain't it? All right, so look, I got this iPad stand right here, and this is pretty dope. I actually listed this on my other video. Put that on the card or something. But this stand is actually very dope for the iPad and for the iPhone too. You can just take it and just put the iPad right there on there, and then boom. And it kind of looks like a Mac type of a situation. I think this is very dope, especially for my iPad, because I still have the 2017 model, which that brings me to issue number 5. Another issue that we have now is, since the iPad is very cheap, people want to keep upgrading. Okay, the iPads now, even the Pros, they do have a better chip. Do not get me wrong, they have a pretty good chip. That's if you get the Pro with everything in it. Now, if you're looking for a new iPad and you just go ahead and get the iPad Pro, it does have a better chip, but it still only has 4 gigs of RAM in there. You have to know what you're looking for. Now, the new iPad, I know it has more RAM in there, has a bigger hard drive, and I think if you want to do that, yeah, spend the money on that because you will have a very powerful machine. And with the new iOS software, everything is really good. Like, man, I just controlled my old MPC with this iPad the other day, and it's incredible what you can do now with the new iOS. Because truth be told, if I do upgrade that, I might just get the other generation before the last one, because that's just me. I'm kind of frugal when it comes to some stuff. Number 6. This is something that I'm guilty of and everybody else is guilty of, especially if you're an iPad mobile producer, and that is buying a whole bunch of VSTs and AUV3 plugins and audio inter-app plugins and all that other stuff. Listen, we do not need everything that is $8.99. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I binge out too, and it might be a late night and I might have a few drinks. Let me go to the app store and let me just buy some stuff. Now, I know sometimes we can get into this binge buying, and then we have all these beautiful apps in our app folder. You know, that's right, you guys do actually make a folder and put all your apps in there. You don't just have it spread across the screen to where you gotta keep scrolling. You don't do that, right? Because I I have an app folder. Yeah, I have a DAW folder and an app folder, right? Okay, but even if you don't have none of that, having a ton of these instruments are great because you can find all the sounds you like. But man, some of these instruments are really, I ain't gonna lie, dog, they kind of trash. 1 or 2 really good ones have all the sounds that you need, and you don't really have to just bulk up on a whole bunch of stuff, but you know, to each his own with that. All right, and number 7. This is the one thing that troubles me the most, and I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but I am really concerned to see what is going to happen with support of a lot of these products. Now, there's a lot of new products that jump out on the scene, and we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know if these products are going to last. We don't know if the support is going to be as strong as it is in the beginning. We don't know. We don't know if we're going to be able to upgrade some of this stuff. We just don't know. So just be mindful of what you get, and that's why I just try to get the stuff that I actually need. And you want to be mindful of the people who actually do bug fixes and upgrades, so you'll know that your instruments will be in top shape over the years, because you don't want to have something that's just sitting there and you can't even upgrade it and you can't do nothing and you spend your hard-earned money for it. That's something I just don't like. So that's my take on being a mobile musician. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the points I brought out. If you have any more points that you want to share with me, or any more issues that you want to share with me, leave them in the comment and let me know so I can talk about them in future videos. Hope you guys enjoy my content. If you do, hit that thumbs up. If you don't, hit that thumbs down. And like I always say, peace out.